like I said, we got some WrestleMania news to get to, as it has been noted by various news sources that the original plans for WrestleMania are not what we are getting. As the original plan for the women's division was Bianca Belair versus Charlotte for the Raw Women's Championship, and I mean they don't really go over what the original plan was for the SmackDown Women's title, but it was basically going to be Charlotte Flair returning to challenge for the Raw Women's Championship. That was before Ronda Rousey took off January, which explains number one, why Ronda Rousey lost to Charlotte in the way that she did, and number two, why Ronda Rousey was not seen for the month of January. It's because she took off for the month of January. But again, I don't really know what to expect. I guess we didn't know what to expect for the SmackDown Women's Championship, rather. But I think what they're going with now, as far as the Women's Championship is concerned, Rhea Ripley and Charlotte, Bianca Belair and Asuka, I think those two matches are better than the original plan. Even though it would have been clear cut, Bianca Belair babyface, Charlotte Flair heel. Even though it would have been clear cut, the history that Charlotte and Rhea Ripley have, and finally being able to tap into that history, and use that for a WrestleMania match. It is very rare that WWE is able to do that. It is very rare that WWE chooses to do that. So the fact that they are choosing to do that and are actually doing it, it should be rewarded and, pointed out rather than, pushed down and forgotten about. But that's just me. The original plan for the men's division is something that I know we have mentioned more than once, is that if Roman Reigns was going to fight The Rock at WrestleMania, then the original plan for the world title was to break apart the world championship before WrestleMania and have either Cody Rhodes and Drew McIntyre, Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins, or Seth Rollins and Drew McIntyre fight for the WWE Championship, with Roman keeping the Universal title and fighting The Rock for the Universal title. I don't know how that would have worked, because that would have meant that Roman would have lost his first match at Elimination Chamber, or maybe they would have did a match where Roman didn't lose, sort of like the triple threat match where Roman lost one fall and didn't lose the other. AKA, oh well, if Roman lost one fall and didn't lose the other, wouldn't that mean Roman got pinned? No. You would have a triple threat match, one person get pinned, that's not Roman Reigns, like the third person get pinned that isn't Roman Reigns, and then you have Roman Reigns defeat whomever else is in the match in the next fall, or you have Roman win the first, lose the second, to at least give somebody the idea that they could win the world title, and not have Roman be the one with his hand raised at the end of the match. But either way, they're not doing that, and I think that part of the reason why they're not doing it is because they realize The Rock's not available, so they didn't need to go with that match for WrestleMania. Simple as that. Should they have gone with that? I think that the better idea, this is just me, I think that the better idea, if that's what they were going with, would have been Sammy versus Drew, or Sammy versus Seth Rollins for one of the titles, and Cody versus Roman for the other. I don't think that you needed to do it just with The Rock. I think you could have did it with Sami Zayn as well. But what they're going with now is likely better than that, because I think going with that, it would have been a delicate situation having Roman drop one of the belts ahead of WrestleMania, because it would take some of the luster off whomever does defeat Roman Reigns, because they wouldn't be the first person to technically defeat him. I mean, yes, it would technically, yes, they would be, but Roman wouldn't hold both belts, is basically what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Roman wouldn't hold both belts, is what I'm saying. But those were the original plans, as 2 world title matches were planned either way. But I think the way that they're going with it, in my opinion, is better than the original plan. And I'm glad that the original plan changed. As far as the other news, the one thing that Triple H has been known for since his time at NXT is smaller cards. The one thing that Triple H has been known for since his time at NXT is smaller cards. Triple H has always valued the valued smaller cards for the shows, because it allows the matches that are featured to be put in more of a prominent position and be given more time. And there are a lot of matches on WrestleMania that deserve the opportunity to go long and not have to worry about filler matches taking time away from the matches that should have a host of time given to them, like Roman versus Cody, like Seth and Logan Paul. I think that match is capable to go long. I think Sammy's match should have a host of time. I think the women's title match should have a host of time. Hell, I think both women's title matches should have a host of time. But that's just me. The fact of the matter is, I don't think that WWE should give, just pile matches on WrestleMania. I've never believed that, just for the sake of piling matches on WrestleMania. But I am a big believer in the fact that the WrestleMania Battle Royal, even on the pre-show, if you don't want to stack up the main card, because you want to give the matches on the main card the proper time that they deserve, go for it. But that's why you have a pre-show. Triple H wants a small card for WrestleMania. I completely understand that. I completely agree with it. And I think that is a smart decision, because it allows the matches that are actually featured on WrestleMania to be spotlighted and given the proper amount of time that they deserve. Simple as that. It's easy, it's not complex, it's simple, right? It's understandable, it's logical. You could go left, right, and center about anything and everything that you want to understand, but the fact of the matter is, the one thing you need to understand is that WWE is putting time and, giving matches the opportunity to be easily digested for, so you guys can spotlight the matches that you want to see and not have to worry about sitting through matches that you could give 2 shits less about. Talent are unhappy about this because they want to be featured on WrestleMania, obviously. Any talent that is not unhappy about not being featured on WrestleMania should not be in professional wrestling, in my opinion. But the fact of the matter is, I agree with Triple H wanting a smaller card. I just don't agree with the idea that you don't want a WrestleMania Battle Royal, or that you shouldn't do the WrestleMania Battle Royal, because the WrestleMania Battle Royal does help and could be done on the pre-show. I know it's like I said in the WrestleMania predictions video yesterday, that basically this is something that really has not been seen much of, that we have not seen much of since the pandemic. But the fact of the matter is, I think that it could come back now, because we don't have the same issues that we did. We don't have the same problems that we did. We don't have the same, limitations. That's the word. We don't have the same limitations that we did during the pandemic. And it should be something that is considered but I don't know that it will be. I don't disagree with the idea that oh well, everybody that could, everybody, feature everybody that you can, blah 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 blah. No, I don't necessarily agree with that. I don't necessarily agree with the fact that you should feature everybody that you can on WrestleMania, even though you should want to get everybody you can. By that I mean, I don't agree with the idea that you should feature everybody that you can on the main WrestleMania card. But that's why you have a pre-show. That's why you have a pre-show. And I think that there's nothing wrong with featuring talent on the pre-show and as much talent as you can on the pre-show, but featuring everyone that you can on the main roster takes away from the spotlighted matches or the matches that should be spotlighted because it tires the fans out. And that's why WWE did 2 nights. I agree with the idea and I like the idea that they're going to have a smaller card, but I think that they should take advantage of the pre-show and not lose sight of why you have a pre-show. Either way, though, let me know down in the comment section below. Are you going to miss the WrestleMania Battle Royals? And if you are, do you agree with the idea of a smaller card? Or do you think that WrestleMania should include everybody possible? Let me know down in the comment section below. As that is it for the news cycle today. I will see you in the next video.